Hello world and fellow Amazon lovers. I'm Moyet. Welcome to a very special segment of EverTalk Live that I like to call the House of Moyet. We are live with you on Amazon to bring you a very unique shopping experience like no other. Of course, our goal is to entertain, to educate, and of course, shop, and share the stories behind the products I think you're really going to want to check out on Amazon. We're able to bring you these discoveries, special thanks to the production and team from EverTalk TV, America's first live streaming video talk show network. From our studio right here in West Hollywood, California, EverTalk has invited members of their community who participate in the Amazon Influencer Program, like yours truly, to share the stories of people that inspire them and, of course, highlight the products they really love and the ones I feel really will make a difference in your life. I personally want to thank Amazon Live and EverTalk for giving me this platform, this studio, this opportunity to bring value to you, my followers, and of course, do a little shopping. So on today's show, I wanted to share with you the Trading Bell's top Wall Street reads. Who's the Trading Bell, you ask? Well, again, yours truly. So what you might not know about me is that I am a stock trader, not an investor. There is a big difference. I went from walking runways as a model to watching watch lists and trading stocks on live television. In fact, I'm proud to be the first female to do so, to trade stocks on live TV. I am so excited to share with you some of what inspired my personal financial journey. Of course, it wasn't all about the money for me in 2020. It was about empowering myself, really taking charge, recognizing an opportunity to learn from some of the biggest Wall Street giants, the art of arbitrage and stock trading, and really be able to invest in myself, in my own personal future and financial freedom. I was able to do so on live TV, of course, utilizing the skills that I'm using right now to bring to you this journey on Amazon, and created the show, The Trading Bell. Now, we'll touch on a few things today, books and movies, The Wolf of Wall Street, the Jim Simons book, The Man Who Solved the Market, of course, a book on angel investing, all of which I've listed below in my carousel. And I encourage you, if you have any questions about stock trading, about the products that I'm mentioning that are available on Amazon, please leave a comment. I'd love to engage with you as we watch. Now, before we start, let's take a look at the show, The Trading Bell. From Hollywood to heat maps, walking runways to watch lists, I'm Moyet, the host of the world's first female live televised entertainment stock trading show. I'm not a money manager. I'm a host and an entertainer, and I have just learned from some of the most successful former Wall Street giants, who of course shall remain nameless. My intention is to take viewers along with me on a wild ride with my trades, the highs, the lows, the wins, the losses, as I trade my own money on live television. So prepare to expect the unexpected. Motion creates emotion. One of the unique things about the Trading Bell is we are actively live trading every market day. This is history in the making. Really, these stocks can be treasures, and this is all part of the Trading Bell strategy. I mean, numbers are moving faster than I can speak. This is one for the books. Yes, as I often say, their pain is my gain. Money coming out the wazoo. Thank you, INPX this morning. Producers love when I pet my lucky bull. I also kept a close eye on TNXP. I'm now lovingly calling you Travel New Exotic Places because you are taking me for a ride. SVRA up 167%. That is why this stock has been on the top of our watch list for weeks on the show. So how do I feel about today?
Look at the fucking smile on my face. Ear to ear, baby.
Ear to ear, baby. You know, I always say, do the responsible thing. Sell when you can, not when you want to. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. I will continue to rub my lucky bull for you. Do your homework and your research, people. Check the balance sheets, check the income statements. It's all available on the investor tab on any of these companies' websites. I just got Blue Apron. Wow. You saw it live here on the Trading Bell. Just when I thought I was closing the show, my order got filled. Unfair advantage. Yes. it would be great to have the show taped from Miami and have Jezlan at the conference as a keynote speaker. The trading bell's going to Miami. Bring on the heat map. Blue Apron. We were right in the throes of the coronavirus. Well, meal delivery seems like a very viable business. Blue Apron is a rocket right now. Well, in the famous words of Hollywood's Wall Street, every dream has its price. What's yours? Every dream has its price. What's yours? Well, for the price of $15, you can read the Wall Street, Wolf of Wall Street, and order some of these great books on Amazon. It's really interesting. Of course, you know, the founder of Amazon started his journey on Wall Street with some of the very people who have become my mentors when they moved to Hollywood. It's been an interesting journey for me, as I mentioned earlier, going from walking runways to watch lists. Most people look at me and think, why would she want to be a stock trader? Well, it's not just one of those things. I really wanted to choose to empower myself. Thanks to companies like Amazon for making books and materials readily available to watch, to read, to better myself. We always have to invest in ourselves and continuing our education, especially now when we have extra time and people are in quarantine and they're saving at home. Picking up a new hobby has become a thing for many people. In fact, there is a boom of retail traders. Now, if you're not familiar with what that term is, essentially they're just non-professional stock traders or investors. Now, they might not be like Jim Simons, who of course is one of the most successful hedge fund managers of all times, but they could learn a thing or two from him if they order this book off Amazon today, and I would highly, highly encourage you to do so. This is the man who solved the market, how Jim Simons launched the quant revolution. Now, you don't need to be a quant to enjoy this book. I know from experience, I'm not personally, but what I did learn from him was not only just the art of arbitrage, but really the art and the psyche behind a successful stock trader. It's been really interesting to know that he was really studying just how things, even like weather patterns, affected the market. Of course, there are so many highs and lows and so much volatility that you're hearing if you watch the financial news today, sign of the times, but this has been happening now for hundreds of years, and Jim Simons is really the man who mastered it, revolutionized it. In fact, he didn't begin trading until he was in his 40s. He was a math professor. So it doesn't matter how old you are, you can choose to empower yourself to continue your education and order some of these books off Amazon today. Again, advanced praise Ed Thorpe, who, of course, if you're familiar with the financial world at all, is a very well-known quant as well. He said, Zuckerman vividly tells the story of how Jim Simons and his team of scientists developed the most successful quantitative strategy and operation in history. Immensely enjoyable. And I must say it was immensely enjoyable to read this, to really understand, as I said earlier, the psyche of the most successful hedge fund manager of all time. Taking a few notes from the pages right now. It's the untold story of how a secretive mathematician pioneered algorithmic trading and became the greatest moneymaker of all time. Right here in the pages of this book. It's no mystery. It's all here in The Man Who Solved the Market, the story of Jim Simons. But you know, my journey and wanting to become a trader and being an entrepreneur all started by attending a group meeting for angel investors. Now, right here in this book, Angel Investing, the guide to making money and having fun investing startups. Well, this is what I picked up after I attended a life-changing event. Let me set the scene for you. A country club in the hills of Bel Air, and 50 men, all over 50, very successful, myself and 2 other women, in a group setting being pitched by some of the most successful founders and entrepreneurs over time, even the man who founded Pandora. Yes, what you listen to your music on before you now listen to Spotify. I watched them pitch just like they pitch on the show, The Shark Tank. And these group of angel investors were willing and able and excited to write a check and fund these startups, and they had the opportunity to do so. And in meeting me, they said, how can we invest in you? What are you building? What are you selling? And I said, an empire. Well, I picked up this book to learn a little bit about how this group of successful angel investors have done just that by investing. I want to share a bit of it with you right now because I think it's really important to understand what angel investing is and what it gives the opportunity not only to the investor, but to the founder, to the entrepreneur to really make a difference. They call it angel investing for a reason. Of course, this is usually, pre-round A VC funds. These are small, in comparison, amounts of capital that these people are investing and that these companies are raising, but they are doing it with the effort and the intention to do good. So let me share this with you. Every year in America, over 600,000 new businesses start up and hire their first employee. Over 600,000. Now, I understand in 2020 that number could be vastly different, but I hope in the new normal that we can have 700,000 new businesses. Safely, of course. Many will fail, but most of them will become the legendary businesses of the future, transforming industries and making millions from the angel investors who helped fund them in their early days. Again, angels, the ones who helped fund them, who make them hundreds of millions, sometimes billions if they're a lucky unicorn. Angel investing once was exclusive. Province of multi-millionaire, high-rolling investors, well, it's now entered the mainstream, with more than $20 billion being invested annually by individual investors in the US alone. That is a staggering statistic. Over $20 billion has been invested annually by angel investors alone. And from reading books like this, you can find out not only how to become an angel investor yourself, but how to spot those viable business and investment opportunities. Okay. Back to the pages. Contrary to popular belief, access to these high-risk, high-return investments and success in startup and investing doesn't have to be a matter of luck or connections. You don't have to be at a country club in Bel Air like I was. You can be in Middle America. You can be in Arkansas. You can be in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and be able to invest in something that can truly change the world. I believe that. This book, Angel Investing, The Gus Guide to Making Money and Having Fun Investing in Startups, shows how smart investors with the right strategy and long-term perspectives can achieve annual returns of 25% or more from a well-designed angel portfolio. Another staggering statistic, an annual return of 25%. I challenge you to find out from your bank the annual percent from your savings account. You're lucky if it's 1% annually, 2% if you're lucky. I don't even think there is a fraction of percent that I'm making in my savings account right now. That's why I picked up books like this, and of course, and continuing to learn from books like this on how to solve the market so I can continue to be a successful trader on the trading bell and take notes from the wild world of Wall Street, even from the wolf himself. Now, if you haven't read this book, this is a wild read, and I highly encourage you to do so. The stock market multimillionaire at 26, federal convict at 36. He partied like a rock star and lived like a king. It's so true, and it's so salacious. It is definitely worth the read. Of course, it's an autobiography written by Jordan Belfort himself. Now, I'm sure you've heard about him in the news and his wild Wolf of Wall Street days, or even listened to his new podcast, which I would highly encourage you to do so. But this book, maybe you've seen the movie even, of course, directed by Martin Scorsese, now stars Leonardo DiCaprio. I've listed that in my carousel. You can watch it on Amazon. Wall Street was in the midst of a raging bull market, meaning the market was up, up, up. And freshly minted millionaires were being spit out a dime a dozen. Money was cheap and dirty. And a guy named Michael Milken had invented something called junk bonds, which had changed the way corporate America went about its business. It was now a time of unbridled greed. Yes, it was a time of excess. My first day of Wall Street, 9:20 a.m. according to Jordan Belfort. I highly encourage you to read this book, to watch the Hollywood take on it. Of course, again, available on Amazon. It's a salacious read, and it's a very telling read. Times have changed, and it isn't that way for many of the people who are out working on Wall Street today, of course, but it is a true story. And it's a crazy one. Stock trading can be a very wild ride. Again, I will remind you, I'm a trader, not an investor, and there is a big, massive difference. But I have had the opportunity to learn from some of the best, and you have the opportunity to do just that. Even if you don't have a mentor like me who hailed from Wall Street in the biggest statistical arbitrage book of all time, you have the wolf in these pages, or Jim Simons, the most successful hedge manager of all time, or once you've made all that money, you've got David S. Rose right here. And you too can be an angel investor and invest in something that can change the world. I know that's my goal. I'm currently earning my wings, if you will. I'm not in a position to write this check just yet, but I will trade my way until I can. I can promise you that. And in the meantime, I'll continue to build my education thanks to platforms like Amazon that make books and audiobooks and movies like this readily available. Thank you for that. Thank you, Bezos, for becoming a founder yourself, for taking what you learned on Wall Street and really creating a platform that has changed and revolutionized not only shopping, but the way we live and the way we learn. So thank you for that. Thank you, EverTalk, for letting me be here in the studio today. Thank you, Amazon, for giving us this platform. Shop safe, stay well, let Amazon deliver your packages, and I'll see you next time.